closing in on 9,000 laps.
We can see on the top of the screen there, Brett Butler was down under another truck. He got loose because he was pinched down on the inside. Looked like Donnie Neuenberger ran up on another truck maybe and got on the brakes to keep from hitting the other truck. You see Butler sideways there in the corner. Let's watch for the 6th truck of Neuenberger.
Yeah, we see it happen so many times when you have a truck on the inside. Watch Donnie now. He's coming off the corner now, the red and white truck. He saw that truck in front of him. He turned left to try to avoid that truck and then lost control.
Be a better view of it, hopefully up top. You can see Neuenberger coming off the corner. He's closing fast on Jen Cobb, and he turns to keep from hitting her. And then around he goes.
As you mentioned, the banking of the straightaway is really what contributed to that, him being involved in this situation.
And man, that's a great picture there of what a safer barrier does. Did you see the 6th truck clobber that safer barrier and the way that barrier absorbed the impact, stretched the impact out over a period of time, lessening the blow that's delivered to the driver?
That's what happened.
Jennifer Jo Cobb in the 10 was down at the bottom, and you had 2 guys racing for position. Neither wanted to give.
Yeah, we're 20 laps into this race. You know, discretion's a better part of valor right now.
Especially if you're Stacy Compton thinking, I wish these guys had to work this out on their own.
There's another view right there.
You know, it's just like you said, Phil, we're a little bit too early. Either one of those guys could have avoided that accident. Unfortunately, both of them decided they were going to get in that hole. And if one of them had a given, obviously this early in the race, the reason why James was in that position was because he got pinched off coming off turn 2. Had a great run on the high side coming off turn 2.
Look at Taylor Malsom lock the brakes up and how long he did it here to just barely avoid Buescher.
But those guys are going to be able to get some fresh tires and still be in this battle. Both of them have good trucks.
And remember, Goodyear gave these guys an extra 1.5 sets of tires. There's the contact right there that turned Stacy Compton around. Was it a tire monkey got him?
Looks like the 12 of Mario Gosselin was behind the 60.
Well, there's no way that Taylor would have suspected, I don't think, that James was going to make that big dive for the corner. I mean, he came.
Look.
Oh, yeah.
That's the wrong place to have that happen, too, man. He's just along for the ride. And these guys now have 50-some laps on tires. It'll be interesting when they pit for our pit reporters to get a look at these tires. Is there going to be right front issues? We didn't think so.
There's another shot of that safer barrier giving to
the 46 truck of Cherry Jones gets sideways, and Skinner's just in a bind. He had to go up high to get around. He barely scrapes the outside wall, but did some damage to that left front corner as he got around the outside.
There's Mario on the inside. He's going to come off the corner right side by side with Ricky Carmichael. Just loses the front end of that truck.
Pushed up, and when he lost the front end, he had the wheels cut hard to the left, and when he bounced off Carmichael, it just spun him right around. Like you said, solid top 15 run for Mario Gosselin, and all of a sudden he finds himself backwards on the front straigaiway at Dover.
What a nice job by Timothy Peters to avoid him. Watch just by that move by Timothy right there.
He had to do that so quick. I mean, he had to just react, and then he couldn't turn it to get those tires on that truck.
See if we can take a look at what happened to Timothy Peters. You see the truck just turn right there. Looked like the tire went down. It didn't look like it didn't blow out all at once because it would have turned hard right. But obviously it deflated, and he got into the outside. Well, there's some brake rotor right of your screen flying out from under that truck. What a horrible break for Timothy.
And that was a great shot, too. We were able to see the brake rotor.
When that tire goes, and that truck just turns hard right into the safer barrier. Another situation of the safer barrier really giving when Elliott makes that contact. Watch this. This will be a great view of it.
Oh, it's a great view.
Glances off the wall.
Tough break for that truck. That KHI truck came in here leading the owner points over the 18 truck of Kyle Busch.
That looks like a day-ending hit for Elliott Sadler.
And, you know, Elliott, sometimes the truck's not all he's faced with here on this last restart to try to win this sucker.
You see Johnny there. I think he felt like something was going on because we saw the 81 of David Starr pulling up underneath him. Johnny feels something there, still makes some pretty good contact with the outside wall. Not as hard as some of the others we have seen, but
just such a helpless feeling when you go down to that corner and you feel something and then all